everybody, this is Ginger here in Ginger's Rant Show, and I gotta tone my voice down a little bit since I'm not in an echo anymore. Um, it Here is kind of a slow, sure process of oh, okay. I see a reflection. I don't know where it was coming from. Anyway, I'm sorry. I think I may have picked up something. It's not COVID. I know it's not that. So, it happens once in a while. Every fall, I get this, and it's that combination of my allergies and everything. And of course, you know, symptoms have a way of mimicking other things that's going on. Hey, Dorothy, good seeing you. Happy Friday. As you can see on my title, TGIF, Major League Baseball, World Series, Midterms, and oh my. Yeah. The human race right now is pretty busy. And so, and for personal note, I'm still fixing things up in here, and I will take some after pictures, and I will post it on my Facebook to show you the before and after the dramatic change in my living room arrangements. I went to a wonderful seminar yesterday called put on by the PLU, Pacific Lutheran University Nursing School, and on emergency planning and safety features and everything. So it's very informative, and they gave some tools and a pamphlet to read and use to learn, and it'll come in handy really well. Next week they're doing one on falling, what you do if you took a fall, and how can you get help type thing. So, of course, I fell a number of times in my lifetime, but now that you're older, getting down is easy, but getting up takes planning. We all know that. Anyway, in the news, in space exploration, Rocket Lab just fired a electron rocket to outer space. They send a mini weather satellite that covers the New Zealand, Australia area, so they can better track storms and everything in their neck of the woods. Not always Argo's 8 satellite picks up everything around the planet. So they sent up a weather satellite just that sticks around the Australian, New Zealand area. So down under area more than anything. And so they sent that up. Well, they were also trying to attempt to catch their 5th stage booster rocket, you know, the bottom of the rocket, trying to catch that. Well, for some reason, telemetry computer and the 5th stage booster wasn't working very well. And so they could not get any telemetry of what was doing, what kind of, you know, outside weather activity, what was picking up, so the helicopter can safely nab that booster and then fly it back to their launch pad. Well, since they lost it, they decided, well, you know what, put it in the ocean and we'll recover it that way. And find out what the problem was, why it quit working properly. So otherwise the mission, the first part of the mission was very successful. and they were pretty happy with it. But they still need to work on the telemetry on the stage boosters. That's a to-do thing on their to-do list. And Rocket Lab is a U.S.-based company, but they do their launches from New Zealand. Sometimes they do contract work for New Zealand. They also have they have their own base in Wallops Island, Virginia. There too. So and also they have a base up in Alaska. So it depends on what their missions are and their projects are and everything on that. Okay. Elon Musk. I mean, he should have just stuck with SpaceX and kept working on Tesla and this other little company he's doing. And he should have left Twitter alone. He arbitrarily, when he took over Twitter, he arbitrarily fired almost everybody. The top executives, well over half of the force there that run Twitter in various departments. And he broke state and federal law by doing it immediately without doing the 16-day notice, which he should have done. And the reason for it. And so now he broke state and federal law. He's being sued not only by the employees, he's also being sued by the state, and he's being sued by the DOJ because he violated federal law, labor laws. So he's in trouble there. The employees felt that he did not follow state law and federal law as far as 60-day notices go, and not giving them a chance to find other employment. And now Twitter is in trouble because their income has dropped way down, and people are leaving Twitter just because of his actions, and they're protesting Twitter. And really what they should have done, the board of executives done, was give the company back to its founders. Give it back to its founders because they were the ones that were running it, and it was run very well. And there were really no issues on Twitter because they wouldn't allow some of this crap that Trump was trying to pull and everything. And including the far-right radical guys that were trying to pull. Well, Elon's excuse of buying Twitter was that he wanted to stop this far-left stuff and everything else and free speech. Well, when he's doing this, he's violating free speech. And he's violating and he was going to charge the users monthly fee. And there were people going, no. Social platforms are supposed to be free. You're supposed to rely on advertisers. Because that's how they're set up. And, Elon, you're being stupid. You're business, you're breaking every business rule, basic business rule that you're doing. And people tell me I don't know anything about business. I go, yes, I do. I have a bachelor's and master's in business. And many of the professors and companies that are saying that Elon is doing this is wrong. Very wrong. So I hope he gets burned by this. I really do. He needs to learn a hard lesson. With, for example, with Microsoft did the Windows platform and everything else, but they did not dictate to people what they can and cannot do, and they did not attempt to go into the social network platform. They didn't do that. They just did the Windows and did the basics in support of this. needs to be federal regulations in place for social platforms, what they can and cannot do. It should not be a Wild West thing out there. Social platforms need to go after scammers. They need to go after people that do illegal things. So people are tired of being walked all over more than anything. They're tired of this crap. And I'm tired of this crap. Right now I'm staying on Facebook because I'm doing this and other social network platforms. Hey Nancy! Hi! Other social platforms, some of them are some of them are operated differently. Let's put it this way, or specialize in a certain niche. You have Tribal, which I do have a account with them. I dropped my Twitter a week ago today, because I wasn't using it. I wasn't happy with it. I asked the one vlogger, Zach at the Launchpad, what he's going to do with his Twitter account. Because he has an account with Twitter doing this. And, you know, if it must start wanting to charge users for this, then, hey, Dusty! Hi! Welcome back! Good. Glad to see you, Dusty. Love you. I'm glad to see you back. That's wonderful. Just take it easy and just don't push yourself, okay? Please? Because you don't want to relapse. So anyway, with Musk, he needs to learn a hard lesson. And I think now there needs to be a social platform commission that is, I would say federal and state regulated, and with common sense rules put in place. You know, like we have somewhat common sense rules on the social, you know, when you're out person to person, out on public and everything else, you have common sense rules there too, where you can and cannot do stuff, okay? And some of the rules are put there for a reason. Well, the same thing. Yeah, I know. I remember spending Halloween years ago, Dusty, years ago, I remember spending Halloween trying to get over a real nasty yellow jacket attack, wasp attack, well, horseback riding. And so I spent the weekend home sick from that. Oh, the last day of October and the first week of November. I was pretty sick from it. But anyway, back to Eldon and the internet and the thing. There need to be some rules in place, common sense rules. And now, if the far right wants to have its own, yeah, me too. I'm very allergic to them, Dusty. That's why I love this new apartment complex here now. They make darn sure there's no wasps living anywhere near the eaves or the windows or getting between the walls or anything, because they can't do that. Wasps can't crawl in between on the walls here. If they find a spot, they'll dig in. They'll get in there. But Brian or David, our wonderful groundskeeper and manager, he's a groundskeeper. He manages the crew here. He makes darn sure that they don't show up. And I I said, well, I'm highly allergic to them. And he said, number of people here are. So, anyway, let me try again. Back to Elon. We need to somehow set up some kind of commission or council, social network platform council or something on the national level and on the state level to regulate this. And also one rule that they need to put in there, one owner per social platform at a time. In other words, one owner cannot own multiple social platforms. He has to own one and one only. And I think that's where it needs to go. You want competition. You want healthy competition. What you want. But like I said with me, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I have YouTube, I have Tribble. I don't know if Tribble allows this or not, but I'll check and see if they do. If they do, I will post my thing with Tribble. Post my rant on Tribble. I'll do that too. I was hoping to get my YouTube channel up to 1,000, at least 1,000 subscribers in order to do restream on all three simultaneously. What I really love to do. Instead of having to take the extra step and time to post my video on YouTube, for example. And, but those that do have other accounts, feel free to share my video. Go for it. Because I need more subscribers in my YouTube channel more than anything. So anyway, we'll see what happens. And wonder if Elon will, let's say, kowtow his way back, getting employees back to run the company properly. He doesn't know a damn thing about social platforms and how they work. He really doesn't. I think what he's doing, he's just assuming. You don't assume. You want to go in there and you want to study it. You want to learn it and study it. Okay. Now, those of you who live in the States that do the time switch twice a year, you know, spring and fall, you know, spring forward, fall back type thing, don't forget to turn the clock back on Sunday. That way you get your extra hour sleeping in. I'm looking forward to that. I didn't sleep well last night because I woke up with a real nasty sinus headache, so I just hope I don't have a sinus infection going on. I hope not. Knock on wood. Anyway, be sure to turn your clocks back. Now, there was a piece of legislation that was introduced in the Senate this past 9-10 months. It's called the Sunshine Act. And it's supposed to protect daylight saving time. In other words, making this permanently daylight savings time and not having to switch back and forth twice a year. It's kind of stressful when you do, because it's hard on your internal clock. It's hard on the animal's internal clock. My cats don't really like it when there's a time change, because they could sense it. They could sense the time change. So they get kind of stressed about it. Dogs are that way too. They don't like it. So they're waiting for it to be passed in the House, but I don't think that's not going to happen until after the midterms. I mean, my thinking is, okay, why don't they just do it now? do it really quickly now. Get it out of the way. That way, that could go for President Biden's signature. You know, get it out, get it done, get it out of the way. Any other, and also any other legislation they need to get done and get it pushed through. McConnell has not helped things any, and he still thinks in his mind, he still thinks he is majority leader. No, he's not. He's a minority leader, and he really has no say. The majority leader is Mr. Schumer, and he's trying to, hey Carol, hi, how's it going? Mr. Schumer needs to push this legislation through, and since there's still a good majority of them in the Senate. Now, I do hope in the midterms, when this happens on, the midterms is on a Tuesday, right? In November, is this on a Tuesday? Just one minute, check. Yeah, okay. Midterms is on a Tuesday. So I do hope we sweep both the House and the Senate blue. Paint it blue, solid blue, in both. And just kick out the ones that are too lazy to legislate, too lazy to govern. And get people in there that are really passionate about public service. And also, I think now, when they do that, they need to push out drop the, letting corporations lobby in there. They should ban them from lobbying. And the only people that are allowed to come in to talk to our senators and representatives, you and me. People that work. And the House and the Senate works for us. We are the government. People need to remember that. We are the government. We say, okay, this is what needs to be done. No, we don't want that fixed or done, or that is wrong, or whatever. Okay? We're the bosses. It's just that President Biden understands that we are the boss. The American people are the boss. He works for us. And he's proven that he's worked for us. And of course you hear about all these other publications like The Hill and some of the other far right saying, oh, well, President Biden is this and President Biden is that and everything. And I go, I said, you guys are being stupid. You really are. He said, well, if it's sweet and it goes red in the House and Senate, then he'd be impeached. And I go, impeached for what? What did he do? He did his job. That's what he did. That's what he was supposed to do, his job. And people need to be reminded, don't worry about it, Carol, that you're late. Don't worry about it. People need to be reminded that elections are about numbers. And the candidates need to focus on the issues, not attacking the other opponent. In other words, they need to have facts and figures right there to prove things. You have visual, and people really want to see it. Okay, another thing in the news, well, almost the end of my thing here. China and Germany just hit Russia with a 2x4. Told Russia, no, you're not going to use nuclear weapons in Ukraine. You're endangering Germany, and you're also endangering part of Russia, or part of China, because it depends on where the trade wind blows. And China is getting to a point now they don't trust Russia at all. Germany doesn't trust Russia. And in fact, Germany is helping Ukraine beat back Russia. And you think Putin would check back on history and see how many times Russia's been clobbered by Germany. Even prior to World War I, World War II, Russia was beat back by Germany during the war in the early 1800s. And he hasn't learned a thing yet. So, I just wish the Russian people would just rise up and give him a big boot and throw him in prison. I really do. Because my philosophy has always been, people can only take things so long, take so much for so long, and pretty soon they've had enough and they'll just say, okay, enough's enough. You know. So anyway, it's 126? Okay. I need to get my eyes checked. Okay, well, you guys have a nice weekend. Be sure to push back, share, push back type thing. Well, the Repubs are being stupid, Carol. They really are. And if they're still being controlled by Putin, you know what? They need to be deported to Russia and having their U.S. citizenship stripped. You know. And I think the federal government needs to step in and do that. Thing. No more. I will. Be sure to insist, persist, and push back. Facts do matter. They really do. And I will post this video on my YouTube channel, and I'll see if my tribal platform will pick this up. If not, I will post it there too. And you guys be sure to pull your clocks back, move your clocks back 1 hour on Sunday. Don't forget to do that. If some of your states do that, depends on where you are. So, it doesn't hurt. And I hope the Philadelphia Phillies win a game tonight. Keep it in the running. I just don't really want to see Houston win. So anyway, you're welcome, Carol. You're welcome. So I'll see you guys on late Sunday afternoon on the Blue Dot family meeting and everything else. And I'm going to watch the Seahawks play. They're playing Arizona Cardinals this week. So, anyway, take care, guys. I love you and have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.